Hello, boys and girls. How y'all doing, y'all? I'm Pierre Lewis. Welcome to February Love. Come for the Kiki, but you stay for the clarity. You heard? How was your weekend? My weekend was really chill. I flew to Tampa to visit my sister. Oh yeah, so like that's why my background looks different because I'm actually not in my apartment in New York. I'm actually in Tampa visiting my sister. I flew to Tampa to spend some time with my sister and also see my mother for Mother's Day. So I hope y'all took out your mothers for Mother's Day. I hope y'all got your mothers drunk, lol, for Mother's Day. Unlike my mother, I wanted to take that bitch out, but Miss Marie just want to go to church and pray God, yeah. But yeah, just been spending some time with my family in Florida. I'm here for the week and I go back to New York this Friday. But other than that, how was you all's weekend? I didn't do much for the weekend. I spent a lot of the weekend as well as last week, honestly, watching at the photos from the Met Gala, watching the fashion show with no fashions. LOL. The Met with no fashions. LOL. How are you the Costume Institute, who's supposed to be like knowledgeable on all things fashion and costume, and the girls were given no fashion, no costume? What happened to the fashion? Did it get stuck on a delivery truck somewhere? Did the UPS men not deliver the fashions? Did what happened to the fashions, girl? Cause bitch, it was nowhere to be found. I remember there was a time when like the Met used to give, which is so interesting because like, I was talking to my homeboy that lives in my building, and like he's a straight hood dude, and I was talking to him, and he was like, "Yeah, the Met Gala, that shit was whack. If the hood dude can see the Met Gala was lame, then you know it was lame." You know what I mean? Like, I don't know, y'all. Because I remember there was a time when Rihanna came to the Met Gala in that egg dress, serving us yolk for days, bitch. I'm still eating off that dress. Mother is still serving me. But this year, the girls couldn't do it. They couldn't save it. If I'm being honest, there's only three individuals that really did it for me. The first was Miss Janelle Monae. Miss Janelle Monae is a fashion girly. Like she's truly an artist. So she's always gonna deliver when it comes to being creative. Miss Mamas was wearing this like dress that was like patterned to look like it was made out of the street and the trees. Bitch looked like she had a cul-de-sac on her body of 11 children just running around, but she made it look good, you know? And then Mr. I think his name is Coleman Domingo. Looks so sharp, so classy, so elegant. I really like Coleman Domingo because whenever I see him on the red carpet, it always looks like he's wearing the clothes and not the clothes are wearing him. He always looks classy. He looked really good. And the other person that looked really good, in my opinion, was Emma Chamberlain. I never thought I would go so hard for a pale white bitch. The pale skin, the pixie cut, the yellow dress, the ways in which she contorted her body. She looked so good. That was high fashion. That was camp. That was whimsy. You know what I mean? Mother just served. I loved it. I loved every moment of her look. If anything, girl, let me capture that into a portrait and hang it up in my living room because Miss Mamas really did that. But yeah, y'all, those are the only three individuals that really did for me for the Met Gala. And for me, like, outside of all of the celebrity fanfare and hoopla, it was interesting to learn that, like, outside of all of that, the Met Gala is doing something important. Maybe I'm just the only one who didn't know, but the Met is saving the planet. Okay, maybe not the planet, maybe just the dresses, but some difference. LOL. I didn't know that the reason that costume institutes like the Met exist is because once museums started preserving clothes as part of history, they quickly realized that clothes rot. And so the Met Gala is a fundraising event that is hosted by the Metropolitan Museum of Art in honor of the Costume Institute, so they can consistently do the work that they do, which is like preserving history, preserving culture through clothes. And that was really cool to me to learn all the things that make clothes are curated from nature. And so fabrics deteriorate over time, elastic shrinks, the glue that is hold your clothes together, it cracks, right? And yeah, and fabric literally rot and deteriorate over time. And so once museums started like conserving clothes, they learned that the moisture in terms of where they would place the clothing, when sunlight will hit the clothes, it will impact the chemical material of the clothes. And all those things started causing decay to the clothing. And because they were already well versed in preserving art, so preserving like oil paintings, sculptures, and manuscripts, they applied the same scientific properties to the clothes. And so that's why now we are able to preserve clothing for a long period of time. And it was so fascinating to me learning that because, like, can you imagine making a TV show or a movie about like the Victorian era and not having anything to reference? I know that there's that like that one show that everyone loves called Bridgerton. Yeah, like can you imagine making a show like that, but you don't have anything to reference in terms of like how the people lived, how they dressed, what was considered high fashion, what was considered like high society, or what was considered regular. You know what I mean? So learning all that was like really interesting to me. And another thing that I thought was really cool was that once museums started preserving clothes, it started a really cool conversation between manufacturers because manufacturers started to like think the dyes that they would use to dye clothes, like how long that would that last. They started to think more deeply about the material and like the length of time before material would decay and start to disintegrate. They started to think about like how the weather would affect the clothes over time, and that was really cool because like that ultimately gave us as consumers a better quality product to enjoy. And maybe one day I'll do like a deeper dive of this video because it was really cool to learn how like how the Met are saving the clothes, girl. LOL. So like towards the tail end of recording this video, I had to jump into a like camera or it got full, so I had to delete some content off my camera. So if you see like this weird transition, I had to make some edits here and there. But no. But ultimately, I think it's cool. I think like outside of all the celebrity fanfare and all the superficiality that exists and in the Met Gala and fashion, it's really interesting, at least for me, to kind of see the Met Gala is just a small aspect of a greater system that is honestly working to preserve culture through clothing, and they're using science to do so. That was a really interesting thing to learn. Shout out to the Met Gala, the Costume Institute for saving the world. I mean, fashion. LOL. But yeah, y'all. But no, this is February Love. Come for the Kiki, stay for the clarity. I'll check you out later. Deuces.